Did we lose Kevin and Dennis?
Nope. I'm still here.
We lost Kevin.
That would explain why he's not answering.
Yeah, that would.
I realized that. Well, I realized that my audio, as I was talking, I looked down and like it says my audio encoder wasn't working. It's like, oh, well, I wonder how long that's been. So
5
Oh
minutes.
no, have you been providing commentary this whole time?
I kind of stopped because I was like, well, I would say something and then like nobody would respond. I was like, oh, okay.
I was waiting for somebody to say something during the entire review because it's like, wow, I'm carrying the show by myself. Okay.
No, and I looked down and I was like, oh shoot, it's not recording.
Welcome to Preferred Enemies, the Warhammer 40k podcast that's not on double but triple duty this time. I'm your host, Rob.
Kevin?
Dennis?
And Richard.
And when I say triple, not double duty, originally we were going to be on double duty because we have 2 books to review today. But instead, we have triple duty because they also dropped the latest big preview show over the summer. And yeah.
Me happy.
Yeah, I figured you would be happy. You would definitely be happy. So we'll get into the preview first, and obviously we'll start with the biggest thing for our particular group, which is the fact that the Leagues of Votann have officially been previewed and coming, I think, sooner than people were afraid, and this is a very welcome surprise.
Yeah, I was bemoaning. I thought, man, it'll probably be next year. We'll get it right before the edition changes. Then I was thinking, well, if it is this year, like the roadmap is hinting, it'll probably be October-ish, so it'll probably be too late to get it for the grand narrative. But with these releases, I'm hopeful maybe September-ish. I'm crossing my fingers. And also, I'd been saying I wanted like a tank type vehicle, a dreadnought type vehicle, jump infantry, and some more characters. And they kind of hit that in the preview.
Well, they don't have... Do they have dedicated jump infantry, or is it still the one guy in the kill team?
Just the one guy in the kill team, which is why I was hoping we'd get a full squad of that. So maybe we'll still get a full squad of that. We'll see.
So let's talk about what you do get, though. First off, a new named character with a very interesting backstory.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. Bernie Agnerson, the Thrice Devoured. The last survivor of the Emberg Aegir block, a league utterly devoured by Hive Fleet Leviathan. So he is the last survivor of an entire league and kind of joins in for other leagues to help them fight against foes that might threaten them. And he's wearing the Tyrannid that last tried to eat him.
So the squats were eaten by the Tyranids. Cool.
Yes.
I definitely think this is a nod to that, but also in my little local meta play group, we have 2 Tyrannid players. So I feel like I have to get this guy and get him on the board because he has to go fight some Tyranids.
I'll admit, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to build my Votann army for the grand narrative, and my idea was oops, all Ironkin, and have one leader, and I was going to have it be an ancient because an old psychic dude and then a bunch of robots. It might be this guy now. It might be this guy and then a bunch of robots.
I mean, do it.
I think it is definitely questionable how much of him is still flesh, because he's got he's definitely got a replacement hand, replacement fingers on one hand. I'm thinking that might be a replacement head. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it just makes sense. The Tyranids are only going for biomatter, so if he's
well, I'm saying
mostly
that they had to slap a new head on that body.
Right. Or at least weld a couple plates to it.
Yeah. There's not much face left under that face kind of thing.
It just might be circuitry.
Also, they did give us a hint on his rules that he, the first time he dies, he gets back up on a 2-up.
which is one of my favorite things. Celestine has it, Bobby G has it, and if I can in the Votann army, I always take that enhancement on my Warlord just because it's nice to get back up.
But seriously, that big old Tyranid warrior like headpiece back is so awesome.
That's pretty cool.
We actually took a look. We think it's more of one of the I wish my Tyranid player guy was here. He was saying, "Oh, this looks like this model," and then he was like, "Yeah, it's this model." And me and Tyranid names are not friends.
A Zoanthrope or
something like a Zoanthrope. I think.
It's I think more like a Zoanthrope head.
Yeah, still he looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
And then we get this Dr. Wily looking guy here, the Arcanist Evaluator.
Please do not put the helmet on him, anybody.
No.
Mad Scientist hair is great.
The Mad Scientist hair is great. Also, if you look at the helmet, it's like soft cloth. The way it's like a spacesuit helmet type.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like where like the metal ridges are, they've molded in like the folds of like the way inflated cloth would sit around it. So kind of interesting. But yeah, the Mad Scientist hair definitely, and the lab coat. I mean, come on, you got to do the Mad Scientist look with this guy.
My concern is I saw him, I'm like, I don't know what unit he can lead, and that's what led to speculation he might be an air quote assassin type character where he's got lone op and a crazy field weapon he's testing, but he's testing it away from everybody else.
Right.
I kind of like that idea.
I know in the actual preview when they were talking about the models, they mentioned that Brunny is a lone op. I don't remember if they said anything about the Evaluator. But
yeah, because maybe Thunderkin he could lead, which would be kind of nice because they right now only have the Iron Master.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they've got like they're the big heavy weapons group, so yeah, that would make sense. Then moving on, hey, if you wanted to do that full Ironkin army, we've got an Ironkin character.
Dude, this is the one that caught my eye first. I thought its looks were amazing, especially with all the extra little arms with observation orbs. It just, I really like that. Although it looks like it might only be able to lead one squad. So that would be a small disappointment, but at least it's got a dedicated unit for it to join.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would make sense. But I love the Mr. Burns like fingers.
Yeah, the Gendo Ikari, just as planned.
Yes.
Yes. The Memnir strategist who looks to join a unit that we'll be talking about in a moment. A neat idea. It's cool to see that, again, they're leaning into that fluff of like the Ironkin are people too. So
Kin are kin.
Yep.
No, I like it.
And that unit they can join, the Ironkin Steeljacks, the tall boy version of the of the Ironkin.
Yeah, I'd been asking or saying I thought Dreadnought would be cool. This is probably our air quote Dreadnought. It's not really Dreadnought. I'm more liking these to like Wraithguard because they look big. They'll probably have high toughness. The weapons they have, they've got some two-handed weapons that are probably like super powerful. I'm hoping super powerful. Or you can put them with sword and gun or fist and gun, and those are okay, but Hearthguard already have those. But having that big giant gun, and like my Thunderkin are failing me miserably right now because, oh yeah, anti-vehicle 2-up is awesome if you don't fight monsters all the time.
Right.
So having a bigger gun that can handle both would make me happier. I know some people say, well, just change the weapon you're using on the Thunderkin. I'm like, yeah, but then when I do run into knights or vehicles, because this is still the vehicle edition, that anti-vehicle 2-up is just a godsend. But no, I like the look of these guys, and the reason why they've got the big bodies is because they're Ironkin. They were built this way. So
just built different.
Yeah. I do want to get a few units of this to paint them.
I do like the idea that we're all like, oh my god, things are so much bigger and like things are so taller. I want these guys to only be like slightly taller than the other Votann, and just perspective, like everyone's like, oh my god, they're so huge. It's like, no, they're still tiny.
I think they're going to be 1.2 to 2 point times the height of a Votann.
Primaris Marine High, rather.
That's what I expect.
Yeah.
More like Wraith guard height to an Eldar, so like 1.5 times taller.
The obvious comparison for me is the Castellan robots. Like that's what.
I think they'll be a little shorter than those.
Yeah.
But yes, I saw that comparison right away when you see the heads.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one critique of these models, and it is the proportion of the heads to the rest of the body.
It's
because
fine.
I look at this and all I see, and this is going to be a little bit of a deep cut, but the Goombas from the Super Mario movie from like the late 80s, early 90s,
I mean,
where they had like the big trench coat bodies and the tiny little heads.
that's fair, but if you ever put an Ironkin head on one of the other Votann infantry bodies,
They do kind of look that way.
yes.
But I'm saying this is just more so. It just throws it
Yeah.
into
No, it's 'cause
even
it's bigger.
stronger contrast, right? But the head isn't, so it just feels, again, tiny. But no,
It looked
it's
normal to us who put a lot of little Ironkin heads on other
That's
things.
fair. I am not. I've only built one a Votann army, so I and that was a couple of years ago. So fair. Then we've got the Chthonian Earthshakers, so a companion unit to the Berserks, who decide why carry that mole mortar around when we could have big mole mortars that take 3 of us to operate.
Yeah, these are just interesting because, air quote, they look like artillery,
Mm-hmm.
but they're pointing the wrong way.
Right?
Dang,
Because
squats don't even know which way is up.
No, I mean, it makes sense in mining. You'd want to shake up the ground, send your drills down. How that's going to play out, I don't know. Is it going to be you target a unit and suppress that unit, reduce their movements, but do you not do damage? I don't know. Or is it like the Tyranids that pop up from underground and do mortal wounds?
To be completely honest with you, they're going to be regular artillery pieces. They're going to function exactly the same way as artillery.
I would rather them have something unique.
And then there's the little, but there's also the little tokens they're including that are like the mole mortars popping up out of the ground. So who knows?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, this might be, if this is the case, I'll really love them. And then maybe they're tunnelers. So sort of like the Tyranid detachment, their Earth Shatters start and they make a tunnel. You put that out there wherever you choose, and then you can like move through it, kind of like we've seen in some of the other White Dwarf missions.
Could see that.
That would be interesting because my problem with Votann right now is, especially the Hearthguard detachment, 5 inches of movement. If I get out of place or if I kill everything I'm around, I'm stuck there. I mean, it's the same problem as a normal Terminator army, but if I had a way to kind of like move quickly through a tunnel, actually, no, that probably makes no sense because moving 5 inches through tunnels is probably the same as moving 5 inches above.
Yeah.
Okay, I could hope.
I do think you're onto something though, and I could absolutely see it be something where you can fire those breaching shells and you can like quote unquote deep strike a unit onto the field through the tunnels.
That would be cool.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of cool potential, but I also do think that they're just going to functionally be artillery. Like,
Yeah.
they're just, we're going to give it a cool like mining theme, and I do like the models, and I do like I like all of the artillery pieces, and that they've kind of made them into almost like mini dioramas.
Yeah.
You see that with like the new Cathay artillery. You definitely saw that with the field artillery from the Deathcore Kree. Like, I like the models that have like stuff going on. That's very cool.
Yeah. Agreed. Then we have our last model, the Capricus, which is what if a Sagittar and a Hernkin Pioneer bike had a baby and made it into either a light gun or a transport for Hernkin Jaegers.
I don't know what I think about these yet. Looks, I think they look really cool. Transport, if they only transport Jaegers, I have a small problem with that because I'm still not high on Jaegers because they just die. I mean, putting them in a transport would make them not die as quickly, so that might be the rationale and functionality of this. The heavy weapon ones, when it said you could have a Magna Rail, I thought, oh my gosh, that's amazing, a big another weapon, and then I got thinking about it, I'm like, this is probably either the same as the Warriors carry, or it might be a step between what the Warrior carries and the heavy Magna Rail on the... And I'm like, it'll probably be a big weapon, but not a big weapon. So I'm more liking this to like a Viper from the Eldar, which is just a moving weapons platform. But at the same time, the Viper can use the Bright Lance. So
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to say jury's out for me on both versions of this vehicle.
So one thing they did say in the preview when they were talking about the units is that it has a 5-man transport capacity, so it'll function exactly like the Sagittar, where a 10-man unit can split between 2, which is interesting. I don't know if I love that mechanic, but
Well, you have to because Jaegers are a squad of 10, and you can't take them as 5.
A Sagittar is no smaller than, no bigger than a Rhino, and a Rhino can fit 12 Primaris Marines in it. I think volumetrically,
Through
probably
space
is
magic,
maybe.
maybe.
Maybe second
by
edition.
By that logic, volumetrically, you can
Marines.
absolutely get 10 Votann in a Sagittar. So
I mean, technically, you're right. The Rhinos, new Rhinos, if they ever make any, since they made new drop pods, maybe they'll make new Rhinos, and the Rhinos will be bigger.
I mean, if they do, it'll be a hover Rhino. But yeah,
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We have
But
that. It's
it's-
called the Impulsor, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
sure. But people will actually use it if they call it a Rhino. Shoot, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? No, I like this. I don't know that I love the combat squad mechanic with the transports. But again, I haven't played through it yet, so I don't know how much of a hindrance that is. But
I will say I love the combat squad with the vehicles because, especially like with Sisters, Votann, I hate saying it this way, you want small units that can die, so to get your... Well, if that's still how you get tokens, because Judgment tokens
True.
are going to be gone. But the thing I did like, what I kind of noticed on the model, is it looks like it has a thicker connection point, since it's another hover thing, because the Pioneers, I was high on them, then I'm like, well, all of mine have fallen off.
Assembling
now,
them
so.
is a pain.
No, assembling them fine. Getting them to stay on the base is what's
Okay, yeah. That's that. I had to pin them after a point because
that is what I had to end up doing too. But this one, it looks like it has a big enough connection point in the center of it that we might not have to.
yeah, we're just kind of like, yeah, we would love to have this being like thematically hovering off of like one rock, but realistically, this needs a good solid connection point. And I'm
Yes,
glad they came
please.
to that realization. You can only defy physics so long, GW. Eventually, physics will come calling. So I'm glad they capitulated on that front a little bit.
Yeah, and I will admit, I still have like 6 Pioneers in box that I haven't put together just because I didn't want to take the time after building them to pin them, and also I want to try the Hearthguard. So, and now there's more units, I'll be like, oh, I think the Pioneers are going to be on the shelf even more unless there's a really good Pioneer detachment, because we get 5.
Yeah, we're getting 5 in the new codex. So, and I like the fact that with like the Capricus and the Pioneers and the Jaegers and everything, you can actually make a Hernkin themed army. Like obviously you'd need a few other components, but you can actually lean into that theme pretty solidly now. So that's cool. But yeah, new codex coming. We don't have a date on it yet.
Friday.
The fact that they've shown us I doubt that. But the fact that they've shown us the book and all these models implies that it's coming soon.
mm-hmm.
And they do mention, like, closer to the release, they're going to talk about the rules. The army rule has been completely rewritten.
That's the biggest thing that scares me, because I mean, I should have faith in this because they rewrote the Eldar army rule, and I really like battle focus. But it's the whole thing of they've had judgment tokens from day one. If judgment tokens aren't the army rule, I mean, they'll probably get shifted off into a form in one of the detachments, but it's just fun that was the theme of the army is grudge. And
Right.
so we'll see what direction they take.
Well,
they
they're
take
saying
it,
there's
but
a resource called yield points, so maybe they're going to lean more into like the mining and resource gathering aspect, which would be a way to lean into another part of the army fluff. So I think that's
true. And I when I read that, I read yield wrong. Apparently, I was more thinking of it as the momentum of like we're going to yield to you, or it's like not as opposed to the yield of the not crop, but the mining.
right. So we'll see what happens with that. But 21 data sheets is a huge improvement over the 12 that they've had before or so. So more opportunities for various army builds. That's always good. 5 detachments is a good solid amount. And we'll see how that plays with like the Grotmus detachments and such. Because if they're getting rid of judgment tokens, now they say that's being rewritten, so we don't know. And judgment tokens, even since this army first dropped, getting the balance on those right has not been easy, because it's either it's way too powerful, as they learned right before launch, or they don't give them out enough. And that was the problem with Votann in like 10th edition to start off, was you didn't get enough and it was too difficult to earn them.
Right, because three up is kind of like the good place where you want things to be. And if most of the army is shooting on 4-ups, so that's why you had to have that token to get down to the 3s. And then if you had the token, it made the guys who your elites, the 3-ups, go to 2s, which just made them stupid good. And that's what everyone was taking. So that's kind of why they had to pull it back, but it hurt then the rest of the army. So I guess we'll see how they build it.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited to see that Votann are coming, possibly the next army, because this is the one we've got the most detail on right now. That we hadn't seen anything of yet, and a new combat patrol that actually seems decent to double up on.
Yeah,
like 2 of those and a call, and you've got a pretty solid core of an army.
Yeah,
because it's 3 Thunderkin, 10 Hearthkin warriors, 5 Einherjar Hearthguard, and an Einherjar champion.
I mean that's a nice base army, because Thunderkin are your heavy support, warriors are what will get you objectives, and then the Hearthguard, you can deep strike in with their champion. With the champion there, at least for now, you can reroll charges when they come in. Yeah. So that's a nice little balanced box.
Yeah. No, I'd miss the days of when combat patrols tended to include like more centerpiece models. I guess here your Thunderkin are your centerpiece, sort of.
Maybe.
But, it's a good assortment of infantry to start with. So,
yes,
again, something you could double up on and add a character or two.
And you'd be all 3 of these are very useful in any army. I mean,
yes.
Sometimes they've had like the pioneers, which the pioneers are okay, but that leans into the more I'm going to go scouting, moving type thing. You'll always need warriors. And right now you always need the Hearthguard. And then Thunderkin are just, well, this is a vehicle heavy meta. You Thunderkin are super nice.
Right. Moving on to another army that really didn't need more stuff, but we're getting more stuff for Space Marines. The first, we'd seen teases of like, hey, look, there's salamanders and there's not Iron Hands at the time. Now there are Iron Hands showing up, but like salamanders and Imperial Fists on the roadmap coming up ahead. Now we are seeing what that entails. First off, we've got a new Vulcan Heston model, which looks like a Primaris-fied Vulcan Heston.
Looks awesome and is not fine cast, so
yeah,
A+.
that automatically makes it better, is the fact that it's not fine cast. But yeah, it just looks like an updated Vulcan Heston. I mean, it's well done. An updated Darnath Lysander, also not in resin, which is also nice.
No fist Thunderhammer, so B-. So like C. Like he needed the fist. He needed the fist Thunderhammer. If he did the fist Thunderhammer, A+.
He gets a fist on his shield and a fist above his like on his like back banner, and on his chest plate, and on his leg.
There's a fist.
And on his cloak. He's got like
yeah, but I just miss the days when you could punch somebody with a Thunderhammer.
Well, okay. To be fair, these photos do not show the front of the Thunderhammer. It could have a little fist. You could carve a little fist into it if you wanted to. No, actually, look at the Thunderhammer. It's a fist holding the Thunderhammer portion.
It's just not the same. It's just not the same.
Kevin, I'm going to teach you something that you taught me. You can always 3D print the head of the hammer.
I mean, that's true too. But no, I love his ridiculous. I love the old ridiculous Thunderhammer he had. So
this is still a pretty ridiculous Thunderhammer, though. It's still a fist holding the head of the Thunderhammer. So
yeah, fair enough.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fists for your not counting his actual fists that are holding things. So, I mean that's a lot of fist for your money.
Yeah, that is a lot of fisting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Raven Guard get a new chapter master, although they did specify Kaven Shrike didn't die. He just decided, I don't want to be this anymore. I'll find somebody else who's more suited to the job. And boy, howdy, did he get the edgelordiest guy he could find. I mean, you see this model and you start hearing My Chemical Romance just in the background. And
Again, this is another one where if you're going to do this model, you have to do the emo haircut, the emo swoop.
Oh, yeah.
Head.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm glad
there are no other options.
The swoop. It's like, could you get the new beaky helmet? Sure. Could you get the hooded head? Yes. But why would you?
I do like hooded head models, though.
Yes, you do. But also, like, this model is, like, okay, Vulcan Heston, it's got the Drake, like, the Fire Drake cloak and the flaming, salamander logo on his back and the flaming ground. But it still seems appropriate and not overstated for salamanders. Imperial fists. Yes, we remarked there's lots of fists on this model, but none of them are all that amazingly obtrusive. They're all just like little bits of flair here and there. Athan Sean is one of the most extra things I've seen recently. You've got like all the feathers and corvid skulls on his shoulders that are pinned underneath the jump pack. The big like ribbons of cuneiform coming down from like his shoulders. He's on the most tactical of tactical rocks that I've seen. And then he has 2 extra little servo raven skulls that are just like flying around.
No, I love this model. This is so amazing.
like this is it is utter ridiculousness. Like it is. Yep. This is cranked up to 11 on ridiculousness. So I mean, good for Raven Guard players. He is definitely a standout character. I'm not saying that is necessarily as praise. It's just he really stands out. But I've also already seen Blood Angels players complaining that why do our models not look as cool as this? I'm like, really? They're like complaining like Dante doesn't look this cool. I'm like, no, Dante looks just fine. Dante was just an upscaled version of the old Dante model, and that was fine. This is not. I'm not a fan. I mean,
I love this. I think this is great.
It's like it's not bad. It's just excessive. And I say that as an Emperor's Children player. This is excessive.
So one of the things that I love about this is as I'm drinking in this model and looking at the image. So he's got the 2 giant like oversized lightning claw power fist combo things, and then he also has like a pistol on his belt.
It's like, how do you grab that? I mean, I'm assuming he's got his normal hands like underneath the claws, because I don't like
maybe. I don't know that I would assume anything with this model.
That's true.
No, I love this model. I think this is the most over the top Raven Guard thing, and I think it's great. I think it's perfect for what it is.
Fair. Then moving on, we've got Kanok Var for the Iron Hands. This guy just looks like literally like a beater.
Yeah.
Complete with the power Tetsubo.
Yeah. That's so cool. Like, I do think they nailed the chapter aesthetic for all 4 of these models.
Yeah.
They all say, they all say instantly what the chapter is. So no, I think they all perfectly fit.
Yeah. And his armor is like layered in a slightly different style than other Marines. It does look, what we would expect from Iron Hands. Like the amount of flesh is reduced to like an eye and the skin just around it on his head. He's got a pair of servo skulls, including one that's doing its own like 3D hologram projection. He's not looking at it. It's just doing it for no real reason. It's just like, it's like, well, that's your job. What's your job? It's not spreading butter. It's you project holograms. Does anyone look at them? No.
Somebody will eventually, and you'll be glad that you had it then.
Fair enough.
No, this is great. I love this. Like, again, all of these character models are great.
And then the one I think I like the best is Subaden Khan for the White Scars. First off, they get a character on a bike. Good for them. They needed that. Secondly, it's a character on a grav bike, which is like done with like the kind of grav plates we see on like an impulsor or repulsor. So
yeah, which I remember the day when Samael was the only one that had a grav bike.
I'm waiting to see all the conversions that turn this into Samael. Because that's going to be like the next thing that somebody does.
That could be something, because I'm just sad because he was unique because of that. Yeah. But at the same time, now that they're 30K gets a bunch of them. I mean, the Custodes, it makes sense that they've had them, But now that White Scar's, I'm like, now Samuel needs one. So maybe next year they'll give us a Raven Guard release. Would be cool.
Ravenwing, yeah. Is Samael in the Dark Angels Codex?
Yes.
Still? Okay.
Yeah, he is. He is still in there. He does not have like the option to take like his land speeder version.
Yeah. No, I like this model. I think it's very cool. It's very appropriate for the White Scars. The bike looks cool. I am a little bit like disappointed that it's like, yeah, I kind of wish Samael had gotten a new model first, because the model that he currently has is ancient.
I remember, this is how ancient he is I played against Tim when Tim was using him in his Dark Angels. Yes. And I remember my Eldar were going out of their way to try and kill him because, like, no, we're the only ones with jet bikes. We need to take that guy out.
Well, and he had the old metal version of it.
Originally,
like,
yes.
Right, the one that you could put into a sock and kill people with.
Yes.
I don't recommend that.
No. Well, not legally. We do not recommend. For legal reasons, we cannot recommend you dread sock or Samael sock somebody.
But unofficially,
no, not unofficial. Kevin's opinions do not reflect those of the greater show.
Do it.
No, stop it. Moving on, though. So 5 new characters, and they do specify all of and I'm guessing a couple, I'm guessing Vulcan and Lysander will get updated rules because they're currently in the Codex. But they do say all 5 of the characters will have their rules available for free download, which is nice. They're not making you buy a new Space Marine 2.0 Codex to get these rules. That is cool.
Yeah, they did specifically say that the updated data sheets will be available when the models are, and then that for the new characters, there was also going to be like fluff articles explaining who they are, why they are with, why they got these models, who they are in the fiction, things like that. So I do like that they're thinking about that and like ways to be able to update the codex and add these things in without invalidating the whole thing or without like making it overly complicated. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's something they've needed for a while to like put focus on some of the other chapters and legions as well.
And then we've got 5 new combat patrols. So we've got the Salamanders Combat Patrol, which has Assault Intercessors, Incinerators, looks like Eliminators, or...
Yeah, the Melta Gun Heavy Intercessors, whatever those are called.
Right, yeah.
And then
Eradicators.
Yeah.
Eliminators are the snipers. Eradicators. And then the ATV. Please, someone take the ATV. We can't seem to sell them, so we're going to throw them into combat patrols.
The ATV can take a Meltagun, that's why it's there.
Which, it's like everything except for the Assault Intercessors. I think that even during the preview, they're like, yeah, everything here can set things on fire. Oh, wait, there's Assault Intercessors here. Okay, almost everything here can set everything on fire. And then the current named character, which is what? Agrax Agatone?
Agrax Earthshade, yeah.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, they did not put Vulcan in here. They put, he is going to be, I guess, a separate model, but he is, you do not need to buy the Combat Patrol to get him. Imperial Fist, same thing. You will not need to buy this Combat Patrol to get Darneth Lysander. Looks like a squad of intercessors. Are those heavy intercessors in the back?
Yeah, those are heavy intercessors, I believe.
Yeah, heavy intercessors. Yeah, because there's a heavy bolter in there. So heavy intercessors, a unit of Terminators, and looks like a command squad. Because there's Captain, Champion, an Ancient, another guy with a heavy bolter. Again, nice all infantry mix there. Raven Guard get the scout, not a dreadnought Invictor suit, and a unit of jump intercessors, a jump captain, and then a unit of infiltrators or inductors, one of the two, the two Phobos style troops,
scout troops.
Yeah. Iron Hands are really trying to make those fire strike turrets a thing by including 2 of them.
Really trying to make fetch happen.
2 of them and a Tech Marine and a unit of intercessors. That is definitely the weakest one of this group so far. That one is just really rough.
Yeah.
And again, no
It's got a
care.
Tech Marine though.
Well, yeah, it's got a Tech Marine, but you're not paying for, like, if you
No,
want the good stuff from
no.
this, buy the Tech Marine and the intercessors and stop there.
Yeah, because because this is gonna be 145.
145. There's gonna be like 168 if they're like most, unless they.
Oh, are they? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
were-
they're 168 now.
They're 160. Okay, so the heavy intercessors, I think they come in 5-man squads, so they're 50. So honestly, you're saving money because like you can buy the 2 units, the heavy intercessor and the tech priest cheaper, or tech marine cheaper.
Oh yeah, they are.
Like, that's a bad combat patrol.
Yeah.
That's a bad one.
And then you've got the White Scars, which have a unit of assault intercessors, an impulsor to have them ride around in, a unit of outrider bikes, and Subaden Khan. So this is the one where if you want the character, you buy the combat patrol. And this is honestly good for White Scars. It's low on model count, but other than and if it didn't have the named character in it, I would say this would be a good one to double up on. But it does have the named character, so sell it to a Dark Angels player who wants to make a Samael.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting set of combat patrols. I think there are definitely some that are better than others.
Again, kind of what you were talking about before with some of the previous combat patrols, I do think it's interesting that they kind of avoided doubling up on units amongst them. So people who, obviously, if you're trying to play one of these legions, like, or one of these chapters, you would pick up that one. But if you're playing Ultramarines, you could pick up several of these to, for the models and paint them as Ultramarines and like add them in. So there is still good value for people outside of these, five chapters. So
Right, yeah. It definitely, I think the Imperial Fist one is just generally the most well-rounded of the group, followed probably by the Raven Guard. And then I'd say Salamanders only having like, yes, there's one character that is very, very Salamanders, but still workable as a list. The White Scars one is, you get that for Subaden Khan. I mean, that's very obvious. And then no one should buy the Iron Hands one. It's just bad.
Here's the direct comparison of how bad the Iron Hands one is. Okay, so if you look at the commonality between the Iron Hands and the Imperial Fist, the Imperial Fist comes with 10 heavy intercessors. So does the Iron Hands. Then the rest of it for the Imperial Fist is a unit of Terminators and a command squad. The equivalent of that apparently for Iron Hands is a Tech Marine and 2 gun turrets.
Yeah, no, you should just buy
insane.
Dollar-wise, it's probably the same.
I don't even think dollar-wise it is. Like,
you do is you buy the you buy the Imperial Fists Combat Patrol,
and then you buy a Tech Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then when he comes out, you buy Kanak Var, who looks to be in Terminator-ish in Terminator armor, and you have him run around with the Terminators, and now you have the start of an Iron Hands army.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, very good models though.
Yeah. And then one last thing, technically, Kill Team, not 40K, but as we know, there's always lots of spillover between the two. We get a new box that is Tomb World, so a new variant on like boarding action style games for Kill Team, and I'm curious to see if this will spill over into 40K, as like if you buy 2 of these, you'll be able to make like Tomb World boarding action games. But also it comes with Deathwatch and Necrons. Obviously it's a Tomb World. We get a new Cryptek variant, the Geomancer, and the little drones that it includes, which will get 40K rules, I'm sure. And then a 10-man Deathwatch Kill Team, of which you can only run 5 in Kill Team. So basically said the box gives you the ability to make almost every option. Except for, I think they said there's a pair of bodies that are Gravis, but there are 3 Gravis options. So you will have to pick and choose at some point. Like there's one option you won't be able to make. But they also said it includes a ton of shoulder pads like sculpted shoulder pads, so you can play these as like a variety of chapters.
See, that's what I liked when like Deathwatch first came out and they had all of those different shoulder pads. I still have a collection of ones I didn't use.
Yeah, so this will
Same.
be a good box for that, and when this kill team is available separately, I imagine Deathwatch players will probably be picking them up with some regularity. They like the new Deathwatch vets look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all look appropriately like and they look like they can all get the job done. So yeah, I definitely dig what they're doing with the that kill team there. So and the Tomb World walls look really neat too, and apparently they will fit together without gluing, although we'll see how that actually works in practice. But
again, I like they're doing more Xenos terrain.
Yes.
Right. Second question, will these walls interface with the other walls? Can you just...
No, I don't believe they will.
I
Looks
mean-
like the connectors are different because they're built on those the shapes of like the tomb markings. And I think they also, during the preview, somebody like that was like, does this match the boarding action walls? It's like, no, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't match the wall structure for Into the Dark, which was the kill team set. So this would be different layouts. It looks like there's like teleporting wall, like doors and things like that, or power, like doors that have like energy fields in front of them. But we'll see how it actually works out when the set comes out. It would be awesome if they released an update for, like, even just a downloadable update for boarding actions that included like, okay, so these walls make different layouts and here's how you can make different layouts with them.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I thought was really cool as well on the kill team stuff, and it's more for kill team, but I just thought it was a really cool idea, because you get 10 Deathwatch Marines in here. They also mentioned that there are rules to basically play this cooperative, where you split the Deathwatch into 2 teams, and then you play against the Necrons as basically like AI, where they just go off of like pre-described motions, and then basically it's like you're both trying to sweep through and clear it out, and it's like cooperative competitive, where it's like you keep score and like at the end. So like that's a cool new way to play kill team and get people involved, you know, into the game, hopefully at kind of an entry level. So I thought that was very neat.
Yeah, and they even said this box includes an extra, like basically the equivalent of a box of Necron Warriors, which you don't run as part of the Necron kill team, but instead it's like, yeah, if you're doing co-op mode, you run those as extra mooks that you have to fight through.
Yeah, which I thought was very cool.
You know, I do like that with the new kill team, that they've made it so that you can do solo play or co-op play with it against an AI-driven opponent, and that's really cool.
The other thing I want to mention real briefly about the previews is they also announced the Hellsmiths of Hashut, which is basically Chaos Dwarves for Age of Sigmar, and I really want to use them and make them into a Chaos Votann army.
Because it's what you do.
That's
that's what I do. It's what I do.
You've made Tau into a Chaos army, so it makes sense you try and make Votann and everything else you touch into Chaos.
Yeah. But I do really like these models. And I look at some of the character models and I'm like, oh, that's almost like 1-to-1. Like, that works. Anyway.
Yeah.
More on that as I decide what I'm doing for the grand narrative.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on if the chorfs are out before
Yeah, exactly.
You could get anything together for the narrative.
Not related necessarily to the preview, but speaking of grand narrative, in White Dwarf 514, the one that just came out on Saturday the 19th, they have a battle report from the grand narrative last year, where 2 of the White Dwarf, one of the editors and one of the writers, attended the grand narrative in Nottingham and basically like did a write-up of their experience, their battle reports, and then like talked about like the cosplay and the narrative and stuff like that. So there's a lot of really cool pictures and stuff in there if anybody hasn't seen that or is interested in learning more about the grand narrative.
Yeah, it's cool to see some more coverage of that, even if whether a book is coming or not is yet to be seen. But
yeah.
But at least they're mentioning it a few months down the line, you know, just in time for the next one.
For sure.